Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Hot Toys Captain Rex figure from the, supposedly from the TV show, but as you can see with the head sculpt and so on, it's not really sort of animation accurate, but more of the realistic style, which I'm fine for, but I guess fans might have to go with Sideshow. It looks like Sideshow guy coming out with some more animation style 1/6 scale figures, so it'll be interesting to see if they release an animation version of their Captain Rex. I did have the previous Sideshow release of this Captain Rex figure, the Phase 2 version, not the Phase 1 version, but I did sell all of my Clone Commanders probably a few years ago now. I can't remember exactly when, so I don't have that older version to do a comparison. But I'll give you my thoughts on this new version. As you can see, the box art there is stock standard sort of style. But I don't do anything with these boxes anymore. I might actually start throwing some of them away, to be honest. They do just end up in the cupboard. But I'll get that out of the way and give you guys a closer look at the accessories. Hold on. First off, it comes with the base with the, I'm not sure if where that's from, if it's on Coruscant or somewhere, but it comes with that nice standard base. I'm just happy that it doesn't have the molded in footprints like the sand base that they've used on Cody and God knows how many other snowtroopers and stormtroopers, so I don't mind the use of that. What I don't like is the fact that they didn't give a crotch grabber but only included the flight stand. I guess if you want to use the backpack and the booster effects, that might work for you, but I tend to have mine just standing in their sort of static poses, so I would have much preferred the crotch grabber instead of this sort of flight stand. I've got, I don't know how many of these I've got now stuck in the drawer, but I guess one day I'll figure out what I'm going to do with them. The backpack, as you can see, is nicely sort of scuffed up with all of the weathering effects, which is quite nice. I can't remember what it looks like, what this Sideshow one looked like. I think I do remember it being more white than this sort of gunmetal grey, and I'm not actually sure which one's more sort of show accurate, but this one does look nice, and I do like the fact that it just sticks on the back with the sort of magnetic action there. The blast effects, as you see here, just the translucent plastic, it is a pretty tight fit when trying to put it into the hole there, so just be careful you don't do anything and snap that point off, but I won't be using it anyway, so they do look pretty good, but a little bit plasticky for my liking. Also comes with his shoulder pouch or chest pouch that attaches on magnetically. Can't remember exactly how the Sideshow one attached or if it was already molded in place, but this one does look like a nicer sort of fake leather look than the sort of plasticky Sideshow one. It comes with a raft of hands. The Sideshow ones did come with more hands in the action feet as they did with all the clone figures, but these ones, I do think the Hot Toys mold is a little bit better in its paint application and detail. I do like that tally marks there, crossing off his kills and so on. So he's got the thumbs up, a couple of gun holding hands and some gesturing hands with the pointing in the fingers and so on. So you can sort of get him into all sorts of poses if you want. The helmet here, so it does come with his Phase 2 helmet, and I think that looks pretty bloody good. This rangefinder there, it does rotate forward, just to be careful how you move that. You can use this little tool here to push out the inside parts on both sides, and then attach this sort of viewfinder, but I don't think it looks that great on this particular bucket. I think the only one that I'm familiar with is Commander Bly, I thought, but I guess all the commanders or the captains might have used something like that. Comes with the alternate sort of reddish helmet here. I can't remember what this was, the 332nd or something like that. I've completely lost track of all the battalion and legion numbers, to be honest, but I guess it's always a nice accessory to have a few more helmets and so on. As before with Cody, comes with his blaster here. Similarly with the previous one, it doesn't fold back out to form the stock like it did with the Sideshow version, which I think is a bit of a miss on Hot Toys' part, but I guess most people would probably have it in its sort of stock standard format like that. which as always has got that really nice sort of metallic wash to it. And then it does come with the 2 smaller pistols that you can put into his, I think on his sides there, on his Karma, I've got a couple of pouches, so you can slot those in. But I think that's pretty much all the accessories. I'll get the figure now and give you guys a close look at that. Alright, so here is the figure up close, and as always, Hot Toys has done a fantastic job with the head sculpt, the realism in the skin application, the hair, the glassiness in the eyes is really coming through. Definitely a massive step up from the old Sideshow version. I think the previous Captain Rex from Sideshow had a head sculpt that was probably one of the best in amongst their own releases, but probably nothing compared to this one. I did link my previous review of their Sideshow clones up in the card there, and it will also be at the end screen, so if you want to check that out, you can head there pretty easily towards the end of the video if you do want to have a comparison. But overall, I think this Hot Toys version, as always, is a massive step up from the old Sideshow version. The pauldron here is actually fixed to the armor itself. I actually thought the Sideshow version had this as a separate sort of floating piece. I'm not quite sure which I prefer, to be honest. I guess that having that stuck in place is probably okay. Just be careful as you're rotating the head around. It doesn't really affect the articulation at all. The arms go out quite wide with that sort of floating shoulder piece there. The armor does tend to sort of move around a little bit. You can sort of bend it further down. You can feel the waist rotates easily, but I think there's like I don't know if there's a ratchet in there somewhere. The legs are definitely on a thick ratchet, you can hear that. And the knees as well are on a much softer ratchet. I can't remember if Cody does that as well. I've got Cody on the side here in a second for a comparison. But overall, I think with the ratchets, I guess it does make for stronger joints if you want to get it into some more of the action poses. But overall, the articulation is pretty much stock standard for the Sideshow. Sorry, the Hot Toys sort of. I don't know if they're the true type sort of bodies still, but for these clones, they do seem to be slightly different. The backpack here just sort of clips on using that magnet. It's a very strong magnet, so it fits in pretty nicely there. And then the chest pouch here, as you can see, the magnet there, and that just sort of plonks on the front. You can sort of angle it any way you sort of want, and then you pretty much have him standing up pretty strongly on those firm ankle joints of theirs. So that's pretty much it, really. The Karma here, what else can I say? The Karma here is like a soft material. I think the Sideshow version was almost like a plasticky material. So this one does feel quite nicer, and it looks and sort of drapes in a more natural way as well. And then I guess I was saying those pockets before, you can just sort of plonk the pistols in there if they fit. Let me see. I think you just need to get it in the right slot like that, and then they sort of sit in fairly nicely. The belt can sort of rotate a little bit, so you can just futz it around a little bit to get that all centered up. But just to finish off, I might grab Rex and set this guy up and give you guys a final comparison. Hold on. Alright, so here are Rex and Cody side by side, and they do make for a couple of fantastic figures for Clone Wars fans. These figures, I'm not too much of a prequel fan, but having these displayed side by side with the prequel Obi-Wan and Anakin figures that I have will pretty much round out my sort of pre-original trilogy figures in my collection, and they do look pretty fantastic next to each other. I think they complement each other really well. The sort of scale is thankfully in line with each other. Hot Toys does have a bad tendency to change the scale in between releases, particularly with their Iron Man figures. But I guess with the underlying body of these figures, they do look pretty much stock standard, as clones probably should. So that's pretty much it for my look at Captain Rex. It's been a while to come. I think it released Q3 or Q4 last year, but it only came into stock at Pop Culture here in Australia just recently. So I'm glad to finally add it to the collection. I will be posting up a few more photos on the Facebook page, so hopefully you can head over there and check that out as well. And give this video a like if you can, and subscribe for my upcoming reviews. I do have Marty McFly and Einstein set coming up next. and hopefully some more Transformers Masterpiece figures. So until then, thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.